Yo, what's up? Peace. Yo, I got some requests about to continue to, do another video about snitching. This like off the air motherfucker stepped to me and, want me to continue to build about it. Um, I never thought I'd be making YouTube videos and none of this, or talking about snitching. I try to live a life where, that ain't pertinent. I don't want to be involved in nothing where, somebody could tell on me and I be compromised. But yeah, man. So I got a couple more stories about snitching. Oh man, I don't even like to talk about it because then it look like I be snitching. So man, but motherfuckers want me to build on it. So this like shit. This like what we in 2019. So about 2006, 2005. That's like 14 years ago. Um, my cousin was involved, or my cousin was allegedly involved. My first cousin was he like in his 50s. He was alleged, and he drive big trucks. Well, he used to. He was allegedly involved in with this dude he was working for. This black man had a trucking company, and my cousin been in out the streets a long time. Trying to get ahead. Supplement his income through uh, other activity. Um, and so but he got incarcerated for 2 years on some unrelated stuff, on some domestic stuff that he was in possession of something he wasn't supposed to have, being who he is, because his girlfriend called the police on him. And so he didn't know how to handle that situation. He should have walked away. All he had to do was walk away that day, and he wouldn't have went to jail for that. Now, you can see it um as like a blessing, because if he hadn't went to jail, then he would have still been fucking with the dude he was working for, who ultimately got stopped, pulled over, and arrested and indicted on drug charges. I think it was federal drug charges. The story go, uh, my cousin was he was incarcerated, but my cousin knew some people that was plugged in, and I guess they was doing what they was doing. My cousin stepped to me and asked me, can I look out for him? Can I hold something for him? Can I look out for him just for a brief second? Just hold the bag. And I was like, man, he said I pay this amount of money, do that. I was like, man, I don't know, And so I said, I think about it, right? I'm not gonna implicate myself in nothing like that, but I wasn't doing nothing, but and so my cousin, before he got locked up, went and told the dude who he was working for, because he plugged that dude in with somebody he knew, and I guess they was doing things on the interstate or whatever. And So, my cousin went to jail for like 2 years. And during this 2 years, he went in '06, I think it was. '06. And yeah. '06 or '07. And cause last time I seen him back then that time. And he told me he was going in. But now, we don't get along no more because, he doing shit, he's supposed to do. Like, he putting stuff in his body that ain't good for him. And, somebody gonna crack his head open. But, and, he around here telling big time lies and shit. So I don't fuck with him no more. But, so, he was, so while he was incarcerated for those 2 years, the dude he was working for, that, he'd been working for him like since '97. So it was like he been working for the dude for like 9-10 years. And so, he thought him and the dude was better than what they was. And so what happened? So my cousin incarcerated, and the dude, who he was working for while he was incarcerated, or, while he was outside of jail, reconnected with the plug. And so I guess he was making moves. And then, so he made a move, and the DA, I guess, got a hold of him. And when they got a hold of old boy, man, he gave it all up. And, he got to do the plug 8 years. And luckily my cousin was in jail for 2 years, but, he put my name in it. From what I understand, I heard he put my name in it, like, because my cousin introduced him to the dude, to the plug. And, and so from what I'm hearing now, I've been under surveillance for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I was driving big trucks back then, over the road, like long distance, coast to coast. And so I guess if they was surveilling me, they was trying to, see if I was doing anything. But, me and my cousin's interaction had stopped because he was incarcerated. So they couldn't find nothing on me. I wasn't holding no bags. I didn't have no drugs or nothing. But I was at the border, a lot in Texas and California. I was in San Diego. I was in El Paso. I was in Brownsville. I was in Laredo. So I was in these states, these border towns, and I guess it kind of looked kind of suspicious or whatever. And so, man, so my cousin get out, and so I didn't, and so, I know the dude who he was working for. And, I went to go drive for him for 2 weeks, and I left because, he was still on the same bullshit he was in 98, 99. So I didn't want to fuck with him no more, and I left. And, he tried to stiff me out of like $700, $800. And I was like, man, this dude ain't shit. And then come to find out, he done told on my, the plug, somebody my cousin introduced him to. Now it's like, I'm like disappointed in my cousin because he didn't have to tell this nigga, he didn't have to tell him about, me and his business. And then, and then, so, he didn't have to even, plug dude in. So, so in essence, my cousin like a snitch, cause, and then he vouched for a snitch, right? And then I told him, cause he asked me, he told me, he said, man, what you think of Greg Rowland? I say, man, Greg don't roll. So he told me, he said, man, Greg Rowland. I said, get him. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And so, what happened? So then, but, like I say, I used to work for his boy, his Greg best friend used to, he got his best friend in the truck, and so I went to go work for him for like 18 months. I was over the road, long distance everywhere, and then but this 99, and so his best friend, would always tell me, Greg ain't shit. He a two-headed snake. You know what I'm saying? You can't trust him, watch him. He ain't shit. Tell Tony. And I guess he a two-headed snake to the point that, he on this level like this that his friend I was working for wanted to, if anything happened, that it ain't him doing it, right? So, I told my cousin this. I say, man, dude went out his way to tell, now this 99 to tell me that, the dude you're working for. Now, he could have been lying, wanting him to come drive for him too. Because that's how it should have went. But I don't know. Maybe he'd been jealous. But he went out his way to put me up on, this nigga characteristics. And I'm like, man, well, I said, okay, so I just bank it, right? I store that information. This dude ain't shit. You gotta be careful. Now, the dude got a degree from Wayne State. He a suburbanite motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And so, but my cousin don't see people for who they really are. You know what I'm saying? Dude ain't no street dude. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, if something go down, he gonna tell. Cause he just built a little mini mansion out in the suburbs. He got a young wife, he got young kids. He ain't trying to go to jail for you. For real. You know what I'm saying? So, man, and so the nigga tell on me. And so my cousin to this day, now this went down in 06, 07, 08, 10 years ago, to this day, my cousin think that he didn't tell on him. Like, he just told on me and the plug. And now I don't even know the plug name. I ain't never seen the boy. I ain't never, you know what I'm saying? And but my cousin so fucked up, he like, no, nigga, he told on you. And he told on that dude. I say, nigga, so I ain't doing nothing, right? But you think the DA ain't ask him how he know the plug? Now, if he would have left, well, I met the plug through Lewis, right? Well, the DA come arrest me and question me. I couldn't pick the dude out in the lineup. I don't know the dude. Didn't meet the dude, don't know the dude name, nothing about him. So, my cousin fucked up. He in denial about this dude that he didn't got feelings for. Like, that's his friend, that's his boy. I say, man, the dude I'm working for is his boy. They go back to the sandbox. You not his boy like that, nigga. You his employee, motherfucker. You ain't playing him, he playing you. Greg, got it going on. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, I'm like, man, this dude, this dude out to lunch, man. You know what I'm saying? And so Greg told him, like, this one went down. And so my cousin called me, man, and said, man, I don't fuck with Greg. Because when I dealt with Greg for them 2 weeks, he said, man, Tony got out of jail, I got him, right? And so I said, okay. So so I told my cousin this, right? And so when he got out of jail, he went to go back work for him, right? And I'm like, man, and so he come and say, man, this nigga ain't shit. He didn't told on my boy. He got indicted and got my boy 8 years, and they didn't take his trucking company. They didn't take his house. They didn't take his cars. They ain't take his money. So, like a couple of years, I'm like, well, this nigga still informant. He's still an informant then. If they arrested, locked up one dude, and that one dude got 8 years for the amount of dope they was bringing up the interstate, And so he was tripping. He said, I ain't fucking with that dude no more, man. But, my cousin, to me, I ain't the swiftest dude. he ain't the swiftest dude. He ain't focused, to make it in the street, because you gotta have some, you gotta have business sense and street sense to make it in the street. He don't have no business sense, and he got very little street sense. It's a surprise, that ain't nobody popped him yet for thinking he big and bad with people. So man, yeah. So and so I'm like, man, dude, just he gave up everything. And then so off and on, I come to find out my cousin still be fucking with him. Now he mad with him. I say, well, listen, man. He said I'm gonna try to flip it. I say, Greg is an informant. You not gonna entrap Greg. He gonna entrap you, nigga. Leave the motherfucker alone. 2 years ago, we went down to the funeral, right, in Georgia, and my aunt, his mama, talking about somebody taking pictures of the house. I'm like, what? Come to find out, he told this motherfucker we going to Georgia. So now I'm thinking, now I didn't believe it, right? I think it's, something else, right? I don't know what to think. Maybe some tourists, maybe they taking pictures of the land next door to my uncle's house or whatever. I don't know. But she say they taking pictures of the house. Motherfucker telling me that's the DA. I'm like, man, we in 2015, November 2015, and motherfuckers, still trying to get you. So I'm like, man, you need to leave that dude alone, for real. And so, so dude trying to be cool, motherfucker, I want to be cool with your bitch snitching ass motherfucker, So, I don't know if they gonna keep this video up here, but, yeah, motherfuckers ain't shit, man. People, man, people do that. And, so now my cousin all fucked up in the head, like, I don't believe, nigga. Motherfucker, he don't know. You were an employee. You ain't no goddamn friend in here. He don't fuck with low-educated, dumb motherfuckers. He like a black 10%er. He used you as a tool so he can get ahead. He had like, I don't know how many trucks he had. First I heard 10, first I heard 5, then I heard 18. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how many, he didn't have to roll, but the dude was gritty. His one of his mottos was like, I got to have it. I got to have it. I got this gritty motherfucker, gritty fat motherfucker. So, man, so motherfucker just dropped dime. Motherfuckers drop dime, man. So, man, that's what snitching is. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think. Motherfucker want me to tell y'all, like, nah. I got in a little situation back in 1992, where I was 19 years old. I got in a little situation, and technically, I didn't do nothing. I wasn't even at the location. I wasn't even there. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even there. You can, if anything, you could, if me and dude would have stuck to a story that I wasn't gonna get in trouble, they could have charged me with accessory after the fact. If anything, right? And so, years later, I tried to get out from under that. I looked up all these laws and statutes on how to, get the dirt off me, right? And and I was working with a lawyer and everything. And so, he suggested that I write a statement, right, to the court. And this like 20 years later. Well, I don't know what year it was. I don't know how. So it's like 20 years later. And so, so he suggested that I write a letter to the court explaining what happened. So, and now, I had went to school. You know what I'm saying? I was, I was made the honor roll. I went to college. I made the honor roll, the dean's list. The national honor roll. I started. I started some businesses. You know what I'm saying? I was, I was a homeowner. You know what I'm saying? And so, I was presenting a different self than my 19-year-old self, or what they perceived or thought I was. And so in the statement, I told that I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I wasn't around there. I didn't do nothing. And now I didn't say he done it. Because he got like probation or something. We got a little. And so the lawyer got mad, right? He said, you can't put that in there that I didn't. So I didn't. That's why the fuck not. I mean, it's over. He didn't, served his probation and this and for what I understand, the dude that's more culpable than me, got in trouble again. I don't know this true. I don't know this to be true, but I heard he got in trouble. I don't know this to be true, but I heard. And so if he got in trouble again, it's gonna be extra hard for him to get out of this first trouble that he in, right? And so my thing is, because he live in the suburbs, and he had a caring mother and father that don't want to see him in trouble. So if he get out of trouble, like get the dirt off him, I'm gonna get out of trouble because it's gonna trickle down to me, right? And so in the statement, I said I didn't do it. This what I was doing. I didn't do it. And the lawyer got mad. Now the lawyer was retired. He was a little fucked up in the head. And I'm like, dude, what difference do it make what the fuck I say? If he can't get out of trouble no more and he gone and free, what difference do it make? It's the truth, right? And then so I guess the nigga heard the dude that did, he got mad or something. I don't know. I guess he caught feelings. And so I keep telling him, if you get out of trouble, I'm gonna be clean. He said no, cause I don't want you to be clean. This dude a hater like that. So man, so I had to take other avenues to get the dirt off me. But some people may say I'm snitching when I say I didn't do it. Technically I wasn't there. I was gone. You know what I'm saying? And so man, I wasn't at the place that the shit popped off. You know what I'm saying? But it do what it do. And people now, he come from a better home. He lived in I guess his home was like $250,000, $300,000 back then, Southfield. Had a big brother, big sister, mother, father. You know what I'm saying? And they thought, because of my skin color, and I'm from the D, that I did it. People were saying I did it. I was with him when he did it, and it wasn't even like that. This motherfucker called me and say, "Dog, come through. I want to holler at you." And I'm just, because back at that time, that's just, I was on that shit. You know what I'm saying? I was about it like that, and but I used to plan out and do things a little with more discretion. And man, he wanted to be gun-ho, showdown, noontime, broad daylight, what I'm saying, a fool. And so I wasn't there, but I was with dude, you know what I'm saying? And just motherfucker don't say shit, just so I took the ride, and so when I try to get that shit off me, The fucked up lawyer tripping, talking about, man, you shouldn't say that. This now in it, in the beginning, and when so we had to go to trial and everything back in the '90s, early '90s. I went to a lot of court, and they was like, one lawyer say, you shouldn't. That motherfucker might turn state's evidence on you and shit. Turn state's evidence. I ain't done shit. Really, I could say, this motherfucker, this, that. Now I'm culpable. I'm an accessory. I may gave him some things, whatever. Know what he was gonna do, but I was, yes, I didn't do the deed. So, man. But when I try to get in, and I guess somebody may see that as telling that, I'm saying I didn't do it for real, and we could take a lie detector test. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's snitching now. Now maybe if I would have snitched when I was being interrogated, right? Like, who gun, where you get that from, and this, that, and the third, and what happened, what I'm saying, what really happened, what I'm saying. I mean, I say, well, and the police report back up my story, I wasn't there. Witnesses, I was somewhere else. What I'm saying, this fool just a fool. So, man, I would have been a snitch if I would have say, well, he done this, that, and the third, and I was over here, and I don't want to be, tried or charged with the nigga, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, dude turned out to be a hater. He didn't want to clean up his life, thinking he holding me down, holding me. That's a whole ass dude. I don't fuck with him to this day. And this was 92, So, no, man. So that ain't snitching. When you 20, 30 years then pass and you trying to move on with your life, and he not gonna get in no trouble if you say he done this, and they know. We took it with a plea bargain, a plea deal, and so there ain't no thing gonna happen to him, and if anybody think he could be reset, they fools. It's over. You trying to get shit in the past, saying done away with, right? So, that ain't snitching, but motherfuckers, dumb people might think it is. So, I ain't no snitch. I just, and then so back to my cousin, this dude fucked up. I tell him, nah, and so he turned into a snitch. I tell him, I say, I ain't going to jail for you. I tell him straight out, I say, I ain't going to jail for you. He get mad, he get hurt. So I ain't going to jail for you. He say, why? Because I said, you dumb. You ain't got it like that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got money, you ain't got millions to fight the charge, pay the fine, maintain my home and my bills while I'm gone. I said, I ain't going to jail for you, nigga. He say, well, you go, them other niggas go to jail for them other niggas. You ain't them other niggas. And I ain't them other niggas. And them other niggas was getting paid. You see what I'm saying? So, man. So I tell him I ain't going to, and so he salty about that. And then the motherfucker gonna say, well, since you said you ain't going to jail for me and you'll tell on me, that's why Greg told on us. And so, he trying to put it all together. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker, you shouldn't have been fucking with that nigga that long. So, man, I don't fuck with old boy, man. These dudes out here, man, they fucked up, man. They got the gang fucked up. So, man, snitching is what snitching is, and so, now you got to think in advance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with everybody. People that ain't in the street, people in the street, I fuck with everybody. I like fuck with people that ain't in the street, more than I do than people that's in the street, because people in the street will snitch on you. And so when people ain't in the street, they consider civilians, And you know, I don't want to compromise nobody like that to make them somebody to tell, because that's what they supposed to do if they ain't involved and some shit trickle down to them. So, you know, man, it is what it is. It do what it do, you know. Motherfuckers just got to be careful out here, for real. For real. And I'm out. Peace.